Hi. I'm standing with a bandaged leg on a crutch watching my mom flirt with my boyfriend. And I have no doubt that she would even be capable of committing a crime to get rid of her own daughter as her competition. Please listen to my story and write what you think about it. This girl became a mom very early on, just finishing high school. Of course, it all happened by accident. And it was only her mother who persuaded her to keep the baby. That's how I, Greta, came into the world. And I was raised by my grandmother. And my mother was studying, looking for true love, building a career. And she remembered about my existence only when I went to high school. I did well in school and was an independent girl. I cooked my own meals and cleaned everything by myself, because it was already difficult for my grandmother. And then, I was 14 and my mother took me to live with her. At first, I was happy. Very happy. You know, when a child sees the mom only in pictures or on rare Skype calls, the news that you will now live with your mom seems like a miracle. I was insanely proud when all my friends gasped at the sight of my mom. Young, well-groomed, beautiful, in a luxury car dropping me off at school every morning. Everyone was jealous, and I was jealous of myself. Until my life turned into a real nightmare. I was getting really mature looking by the time I was 14. My breasts developed early. My figure was beautiful, and I started noticing guys looking at me. And the older guys too. One day after school, a guy from my school stopped me and told me that his older brother, a senior, wanted to meet me. Zach came over, winked at me, and asked me out to the movies that night. It was unexpected, but I agreed. Zach was the star of the hockey team, and I myself was constantly secretly admiring his intense physique in the school cafeteria. We talked for a few minutes and parted ways. My mom was waiting for me in the car outside the entrance. She saw us talking to each other, and of course wondered who he was. I told her everything. In the evening, I was getting ready to go to the movies with Zach. And on my way downstairs, I saw my mother moaning on the living room couch with a compress on her forehead. Honey, I have a terrible migraine. Can you stay with me tonight? Of course, how else? I texted Zach and sat by my mom all night. But after half an hour, she felt better and left for the gym. The next day, Zach waited for me at school. He invited me to his house for Friday night. Friday was the next day, and I was excited about our date. I told my mom about it with excitement. She was waiting for me in the car at school again. But she didn't say anything. She just pushed the gas pedal hard and drove home. She was all moody and didn't talk to me much. I wondered what to wear to the party next day. I chose a short skirt and a top. Showed it to my mom, but she just smirked back and told me to go study. Well, might not be in the mood, I thought. Before I continue, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And make sure you have the bell clicked. Then you'll know when there's a new video coming out on the channel. The next day, my mom didn't pick me up at school, citing an urgent work appointment. So I walked home by myself. The weather was beautiful, and I put on my headphones and walked excitedly down the sidewalk to Zach's party that day. It was only a block away. It was a bedroom community, and there weren't many cars. I was crossing the street. Suddenly, an old car came driving out of the alley, and despite the green light for pedestrians, sped down the street. I saw it at the last moment and barely had time to bounce back. But I fell very hard and scratched my leg until it bled. My mother didn't answer my calls, and I couldn't even get up. My leg hurt so much, I called an ambulance. At the hospital, they gave me some stitches, bandaged my leg, and I took a cab home. I barely made it up the stairs and collapsed on the bed. Tears welled up in my eyes. I felt so bad. About everything. The party, the leg, and especially the fact that my mom was not answering the phone. And suddenly I noticed that my outfit for the party, it was gone. It was hanging on the closet door, and now it was gone. What the hell? I looked at my watch. The party had already started. I texted Zach to apologize, and he texted me back. I'm sorry about what happened. Get well. And he sent me a picture from the party. And suddenly, I saw my mom in the background. In my outfit. What the hell? Forgetting the pain, I went downstairs, called a cab, and drove to the party. I could not believe it. My mom was partying with my classmates, dancing with them. And oh, what can possibly be worse? Flirting with Zach. And I figured everything out. The driver of that old car that had almost hit me was a woman with dark glasses on, and with the same gorgeous hair as my mom. She set the whole thing up. She's jealous of me. She's jealous that guys pay attention to me. She doesn't have a life of her own. What am I supposed to do? Run away? Pretend I don't know her things and get back at her? What would you do if you were me?